What if the age of dinosaurs never ended? Imagine walking through a forest where the shadows are not cast by trees, but by the colossal necks of sauropods stretching toward the clouds. Imagine a coastline where the thunder of waves is drowned out by the roar of predators larger than any beast alive today. This is not science fiction. It is a question that cuts to the very heart of evolution, survival, and the fragile path that led to us. 66 million years ago, a single event changed everything. A massive asteroid, striking Earth near what is now the Yucatan Peninsula, unleashed a global apocalypse. In a geological instant, nearly 3/4 of all species vanished, including the mighty dinosaurs, who had ruled the planet for over 160 million years. But what if that asteroid had missed? Would humanity, or anything like it, ever have emerged? Or would Earth still belong to the reptiles of prehistory? Giant predators and armored herbivores locked in an endless cycle of survival. This is not a fantasy. It is a scientific thought experiment that forces us to reconsider the fragile chain of chance and catastrophe that created our world. In this documentary, we will step into that alternate history. Together, we will explore the scientific evidence of the asteroid impact, the dominance of dinosaurs before their extinction, and what Earth might have looked like if they had endured. We will ask the hard questions. Could mammals, including prehistoric humans, have risen in a world still overshadowed by reptiles? Would Neanderthals, Homo sapiens, or even Ice Age megafauna have had a chance to evolve? And what can the mystery of the dinosaurs' demise teach us about the future of humanity itself? The survival of humans has always been tied to extinction events. Without the disappearance of the dinosaurs, the age of mammals might never have begun. The caves of early Homo erectus may never have been lit by fire. The mysteries of archaeology, from the lost civilizations of Mesopotamia to the forgotten cities buried beneath the Amazon, may never have come to be. In the story of evolution, the asteroid is not just a destroyer, it is also a creator. By erasing the giants of the past, it carved out space for the fragile beginnings of our own kind. Yet the question lingers. Was it inevitable that humans would rise, or are we simply an accident of cosmic chance? Tonight, we journey into the what if, into a shadow history where dinosaurs survived and prehistoric humans may never have existed. A history that challenges the very idea of who we are and whether our place on this planet is as secure as we believe. This is not just a story about dinosaurs. It is a story about evolution, about archaeology, about the mysteries of survival. And it begins with one haunting question. What if the asteroid had missed? Before we step into the alternate reality of a dinosaur-dominated Earth, we must first understand the world as it truly was, both before and after the asteroid impact. 66 million years ago, the planet was already ancient. Dinosaurs had ruled for more than 160 million years, a reign far longer than the entire existence of prehistoric humans and every lost civilization combined. They had survived previous mass extinctions, adapted to changing climates, and evolved into astonishing forms, from the armored Ankylosaurus, bristling with bone plates, to the towering Brachiosaurus, grazing on treetops beyond the reach of any other animal. And, of course, the terrifying Tyrannosaurus rex, apex predator of its time. The late Cretaceous world was warm, lush, and teeming with life. Tropical forests stretched across what is now North America and Asia. Shallow seas covered parts of Europe.
The air carried far more carbon dioxide than today, fueling thick vegetation that nourished vast herds of herbivores. Dinosaurs were not just surviving, they were thriving, shaping ecosystems much as humans do now. But then came the catastrophe. The Chicxulub asteroid, roughly 10 kilometers wide, struck Earth with the force of billions of nuclear bombs. Within seconds, shock waves ripped through the crust, igniting wildfires across continents. A towering wall of debris and vaporized rock was thrown into the atmosphere. Sunlight dimmed, temperatures plummeted, plants withered, food chains collapsed. In a geologic blink, the mighty lords of Earth were gone. Or almost gone. For in truth, not all dinosaurs perished. A small lineage of feathered theropods survived, the ancestors of modern birds. When you watch a hawk in the sky or hear the call of a raven, you are glimpsing the last echoes of a prehistoric dynasty. And yet, the extinction event did more than kill dinosaurs, it reshaped the planet's destiny. With the giants gone, mammals seized the opportunity. Once small, nocturnal creatures hiding in the shadows of reptiles, they began to grow larger, diversify, and dominate. This was the dawn of the age of mammals, paving the way for Ice Age megafauna, the first hominids, and ultimately us. Here lies the crux of our thought experiment. Without the asteroid, this chain of events may never have occurred. Prehistoric humans, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Neanderthals, Homo sapiens, might never have emerged. The fields of archaeology and anthropology that uncover lost civilizations may have had nothing to study, because civilization itself might never have been born. Scientists debate this with fascination. Some argue that mammals would have eventually found niches even in a world of dinosaurs, perhaps evolving intelligence while remaining small and agile. Others believe dinosaurs, with their adaptability, might themselves have developed greater intelligence. After all, certain theropods like Troodon had relatively large brains compared to body size. Could evolution have produced a reptilian civilization in place of humanity? Fossil discoveries continue to fuel these questions. From the rich beds of Hell Creek in Montana to the deserts of Mongolia, paleontology provides snapshots of the lost world. Bones frozen in time, petrified forests, and even traces of soft tissue. These remnants remind us that the boundary between extinction and survival is razor thin, often decided by events beyond the control of any species. Mass extinctions have always been the crucibles of evolution. Before the asteroid, other catastrophes reshaped life. The Permian extinction wiped out 90% of species, clearing the way for the first dinosaurs to rise. The Ice Age tested prehistoric humans, forcing them to adapt, invent tools, and build the foundations of culture. Without these destructive yet creative moments, human evolution and archaeology as we know them might never exist. In this light, the extinction of the dinosaurs is not just ancient history, it is a reminder of how fragile our dominance is. Just as the asteroid ended the age of dinosaurs, another catastrophe, volcanic, climatic, or cosmic, could one day end the age of humans. But in the alternate history we imagine tonight, that asteroid misses. The great reptiles survive. Mammals remain small, clinging to the shadows. The forests echo not with the calls of early humans, but with the thunder of reptilian giants. Civilizations may never rise, and if they do, they may never look like us. The question then becomes, what kind of Earth would this be? A world of endless reptilian evolution? A planet where mammals never leave the underbrush? Or perhaps a stage where both lineages, dinosaurs and mammals, compete side by side, locked in an eternal struggle for survival? To find out, we must now step deeper into this alternate past and watch how life might have unfolded in a world where the asteroid never struck.
Close your eyes and step into the world that never was. The asteroid streaks across the void, but this time it misses Earth by a fraction of distance too small for the universe to measure. The fireball never comes. The shockwaves never rise. The age of dinosaurs does not end. We are standing in the Paleocene, but it is not the world our ancestors knew. Instead of small mammals quietly multiplying in the shadows, the Earth is still ruled by reptiles. Herds of hadrosaurs migrate across floodplains, their calls echoing like horns through the dawn. Massive sauropods, though dwindling by the late Cretaceous, survive in isolated regions, stretching their necks toward the treetops. Carnivorous theropods, sleek, fast, and cunning, still stalk the forests. Tyrannosaurs, raptors, and their kin remain apex predators, shaping every ecosystem. Now ask yourself, in this world, where do mammals fit in? Without the ecological void left by extinction, mammals would remain small, shrew-like, nocturnal, confined to niches that dinosaurs ignore. The rise of Ice Age megafauna, mammoths, saber-toothed cats, giant sloths, would never occur because the giants already exist and hold every position in the food chain. No woolly mammoth would thunder across the tundra. No Neanderthal would stalk the mammoth with fire and spears. The story of prehistoric humans would remain unwritten. But evolution is not static. Even under dinosaur rule, life would continue to adapt. Over millions of years, species evolved to exploit new opportunities. Paleontologists have long speculated about Troodon, a small, bird-like dinosaur with a brain size proportionally larger than most of its kin. Intelligent, with keen senses, it has been imagined as a potential dinosauroid, a reptilian creature that might one day walk upright, use tools, and develop culture. Would the world then have birthed a civilization of reptiles instead of humans? Would archaeology today be uncovering lost temples built not of stone but of claw and scale? It sounds like fantasy, yet it is rooted in evolutionary logic. Intelligence evolves when survival demands it. Imagine this alternate history further. The ice ages still come, driven by Earth's cycles. Glaciers descend. Ecosystems shift. In our reality, these harsh climates forced prehistoric humans to invent, adopt, and evolve. But in the dinosaur world, giant reptiles face the cold. Perhaps feathered species, already existing in the late Cretaceous, evolve thicker plumage. Warm-bloodedness spreads, allowing some dinosaurs to endure freezing temperatures. Mammals still hide in burrows, but they remain background players. The story of human evolution, the rise of Homo erectus, the resilience of Neanderthals, the spark of Homo sapiens, never begins. And yet one might ask, is intelligence inevitable? If not mammals, then perhaps dinosaurs would take that step. Evolution tends to favor complexity in environments that demand it. The pressure to survive ice ages, volcanic upheavals, and shifting continents could push certain dinosaur lineages toward greater cognition. A creature like Troodon could evolve into something bipedal, tool-using, and culture-forming. In that case, the Earth could still witness civilizations, but they would not be human. This raises haunting images. What would prehistoric archaeology look like in such a world? Instead of lost civilizations of Mesopotamia or Atlantis myths, there might be ruins left by reptilian architects. Perhaps strange monuments carved by clawed hands, or burial sites of feathered rulers. The mysteries we as humans chase in archaeology, stone circles, forgotten cities, coded myths, could still exist, but they would belong to another lineage entirely. In this alternate timeline, mammals may never leave their shadows. Our species, with its curiosity, art, and drive to explore the stars, might never appear. The Ice Age would come and go, but without humans to paint caves at Lascaux, without Neanderthals to craft stone tools, without lost civilizations to rise and fall. Instead, evolution writes a different epic, the Age of Reptilian Minds. But not all scientists agree that dinosaurs could have reached such complexity. Many argue that while certain lineages showed promise, evolutionary paths are not guaranteed. Just as Neanderthals reached incredible sophistication but still vanished, dinosaur intelligence may have plateaued. Without mammals rising, Earth might have remained a planet of predators and prey, locked in cycles of survival but never building civilizations. Still, the thought lingers. If the asteroid had missed, perhaps we would not exist. Perhaps the night sky would be gazed upon by eyes unlike ours, slitted, golden, reptilian, wondering as we do about the origins of life. This is the first revelation of our journey. The survival of dinosaurs would not just change the fate of mammals, but erase the very possibility of prehistoric humans. Archaeology, human evolution, lost civilizations, all would be unwritten. In their place, another story unfolds, one of reptilian dominance, eternal wilderness, and perhaps a civilization that we cannot even imagine.
We now move deeper into the heart of the debate. In a world where the asteroid never struck, what truly happens to life on Earth? The question is not just, would dinosaurs survive, but also, what paths would evolution take? For this, scientists have long wrestled with competing perspectives, each raising more mysteries than answers. The case for reptilian civilization. In the 1980s, paleontologist Dale Russell proposed a controversial idea, the dinosauroid hypothesis. Based on fossils of Troodon, a small bird-like theropod with relatively large brain-to-body ratio, he imagined what this creature might have become if evolution had continued uninterrupted. The result was a speculative model of a bipedal intelligent reptile with grasping hands, large eyes, and even a potential for language. Critics argued the design looked too much like a human in reptile form, anthropocentric, projecting our own features onto an alien path of evolution. But the point of the exercise was not accuracy, but possibility. Given time, could dinosaurs have developed high intelligence? Some scientists say yes. Birds, their descendants, display remarkable cognition even today. Crows can use tools. Parrots can mimic and understand human speech. Raptors and corvids show planning, memory, and social complexity rivaling primates. If birds, mere survivors of the catastrophe, can achieve this, what might larger-brained non-avian dinosaurs have done with tens of millions more years? The counter-argument: the limits of dinosaur evolution. Other experts are less convinced. Evolution, they argue, is not goal-directed. Intelligence is not an inevitable destination. Many successful creatures thrive without advanced cognition. Crocodiles have barely changed in 200 million years, yet remain formidable survivors. Sharks predate dinosaurs and continue to rule the oceans without needing culture or language. Why should dinosaurs have evolved beyond survival? They were already masters of their ecosystems. The asteroid, in this view, was not an obstacle to their advancement, but the random event that cleared space for mammals. Without it, Earth could have remained locked in reptilian dominance indefinitely, a planet of predators and prey, without philosophy, art, or science. The mammal struggle in a dinosaur world. But what of mammals? Could they still have found a way to thrive alongside dinosaurs? Fossil evidence shows mammals had already diversified before the asteroid, evolving into early primates, marsupials, and insectivores. They lived in trees, dug burrows, and scavenged in niches dinosaurs ignored. Some scientists argue that even without the extinction, mammals might have slowly expanded, perhaps evolving intelligence while remaining relatively small. But would a world filled with apex predators like tyrannosaurs and raptors ever allow mammals to dominate? The Ice Age megafauna we know, mammoths, giant sloths, saber-toothed cats, would likely never evolve, because dinosaurs had already filled those ecological roles. And without megafauna, human ancestors, prehistoric humans such as Homo erectus or Neanderthals, might never emerge. The story of human evolution could remain unborn. The unpredictability of evolution. Yet the greatest lesson of archaeology, paleontology, and human history is this: life is unpredictable. Who would have guessed that fragile, soft-skinned primates would one day build pyramids, explore the Ice Age, and send machines beyond the solar system? Perhaps in the dinosaur world, unexpected pressures, volcanic eruptions, climate shifts, even mini-extinctions might still tip the balance. Feathered dinosaurs could evolve warmth and intelligence. Mammals might seize rare opportunities to expand. Entirely new evolutionary experiments could unfold, producing creatures beyond our imagination. Consider this. If dinosaurs had survived, perhaps the great mysteries of archaeology today would not be human ruins, but reptilian ones. Lost civilizations of scaled architects buried beneath forests. Fossilized relics of cultures that rose and fell long before mammals had a chance to speak. Our documentaries might not ask about Neanderthals or Ice Age survival, but instead about reptilian societies erased by time. The philosophical dilemma. And here lies a deeper, almost unsettling question. If the asteroid had missed, would intelligence have ever emerged? Or is our own existence an extraordinary accident, made possible only by catastrophe? It is tempting to imagine that consciousness is inevitable, that evolution always bends towards complexity, towards archaeology, language, and civilization. But history tells another story. Of the billions of species that have lived, only one, Homo sapiens, has built a global civilization. Neanderthals came close, yet vanished. Denisovans left only traces in our DNA. Even within mammals, intelligence is rare. Perhaps without the asteroid, Earth would be a world of endless survival, a cycle of fang and claw, without memory or history. A planet without archaeology, without philosophy, without wonder. A silent Earth, where the skies thunder with wings, but no mind asks the stars why. The unanswered mystery. Ultimately, the debate is unresolved. Dinosaurs might have risen to new heights of intelligence, or remained forever magnificent beasts of instinct. Mammals might have remained insignificant, or found a way to break through. What we know is this: the asteroid's impact was not just an end, but also a beginning. It erased a dynasty, but in its ashes, it allowed ours to rise. Without it, the story of prehistoric humans, human evolution, Ice Age survival, and lost civilizations may never have been written. Our species, with all its brilliance and flaws, may simply not exist. This is the haunting truth of archaeology and paleontology. We are here because they are not.
It is tempting to dismiss the question, what if dinosaurs had survived, as nothing more than science fiction. But when we look closer, this thought experiment becomes a mirror, reflecting profound truths about our own existence, fragility, and future. The fragility of dominance. Dinosaurs reigned for over 160 million years. By comparison, prehistoric humans, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Neanderthals, Homo sapiens, have only walked the earth for about 2 million years. Our civilizations, from Mesopotamia to Egypt, from the Ice Age tribes to the lost cities of the Amazon, are just a blink in deep time. Yet in that blink, we often see ourselves as permanent rulers of the planet. The story of the asteroid reminds us otherwise. If the mightiest creatures in Earth's history could be erased in an instant, what does that say about us? Archaeology shows us that even great civilizations, Sumer, Maya, the Anasazi, rise, flourish, and fall. Evolution whispers the same truth: survival is never guaranteed. The dinosaurs did not fail. They were victims of chance, and so might we be. The role of catastrophe in creation. Ironically, we owe our very existence to disaster. The asteroid that ended the age of dinosaurs began the age of mammals. Without it, there might be no human evolution, no prehistoric humans painting in caves, no Ice Age survivors building the foundations of culture. Catastrophe cleared the slate, and from that devastation came us. What lesson does this hold? That endings are not always failures. In archaeology, every fallen city is also a seedbed for another. When Rome collapsed, Europe did not vanish, it transformed. When the Ice Age megafauna disappeared, humans adapted with new tools, hunting strategies, and myths. Extinction events can be terrible, but they also open doors to new beginnings. Our story is proof. Out of the shadow of dinosaurs, fragile mammals found space to grow and eventually to dream. Survival through adaptation.
Another lesson from the dinosaur thought experiment is adaptation. Dinosaurs thrived because they adapted to their world, but when their environment was destroyed, no amount of power or size could save them. It was the small, the flexible, the adaptable that survived. Birds, mammals, insects. For prehistoric humans, adaptation was also the key. When Ice Age winters stretched across continents, humans learned to control fire, stitch clothes, and create shelters. When megafauna disappeared, they turned to fishing, farming, and eventually building civilizations. Archaeology is filled with reminders that adaptation, not dominance, is what ensures survival. In today's world, as we face climate change, pandemics, and technological upheaval, the same principle applies. We must learn to bend without breaking, to adapt faster than the challenges we create. The danger of assuming inevitability. One of the haunting questions raised by this "what if dinosaurs had survived" scenario is whether intelligence is inevitable. Did evolution have to produce creatures like us? Or are we a cosmic accident, dependent on the roll of chance, the strike of an asteroid? If intelligence is rare, then our existence is all the more precious and all the more precarious. We cannot assume that consciousness, art, science, and archaeology will arise again if we vanish. If humanity destroys itself, the story may not repeat. Dinosaurs ruled for millions of years without writing myths, building temples, or studying the stars. Perhaps we are the exception, not the rule. This realization should humble us. We are not guaranteed successors. The universe may never see our like again. Reflections for the present. So what do we learn from imagining a dinosaur world where humans never evolved? Our existence is fragile. Prehistoric humans, Neanderthals, Ice Age survivors all depended on chance extinctions to exist. We are here because an asteroid struck at the right time. Survival depends on adaptation. The winners of history are not always the strongest, but those who can change the fastest. Civilizations are not permanent. Archaeology shows the ruins of once great peoples. Our skyscrapers, too, may one day be buried under sand or ice. Consciousness is a gift. Intelligence is not inevitable. It is rare, fragile, and perhaps unique in the universe. That should fill us with responsibility. Perhaps the greatest lesson is perspective. The dinosaurs remind us that even the mightiest can fall, while the humblest can rise. Our species, though young, carries the burden of memory, creativity, and foresight. We study lost civilizations because we fear becoming one. We uncover the bones of extinct animals because we know one day our bones may also be studied, if anyone remains to study them. A personal reflection. What if dinosaurs had survived? Then this documentary would not exist, because we would not exist. The question is not really about them, it is about us, about our survival, our choices, our awareness that life is fragile and history is unpredictable. When prehistoric humans looked at the stars during the Ice Age, they surely wondered about their place in the universe. We, with all our technology, wonder the same. The asteroid's lesson is that we should never take our existence for granted. We are the children of catastrophe, the survivors of chance. And that survival comes with responsibility. To protect not just ourselves, but the fragile thread of life that connects all species.
66 million years ago, the sky burned, and the age of dinosaurs ended. From that silence, the story of mammals, and ultimately humanity, began. But tonight, we have dared to imagine a different path. A path where the asteroid never struck. A path where colossal reptiles still roamed, and prehistoric humans, Neanderthals, and Ice Age survivors never came to be. This thought experiment reveals a truth both humbling and profound. Our existence is not inevitable. It is the fragile result of chance, catastrophe, and adaptation. Archaeology uncovers lost civilizations to remind us how fleeting human achievement can be. Paleontology digs through the bones of extinct animals to show us that even the mightiest creatures can fall.
Evolution itself whispers that survival belongs not to the strongest, but to the adaptable. What if dinosaurs had survived? Then perhaps this world would be ruled by reptilian minds instead of human ones. Or perhaps it would still be a wilderness, silent of thought, filled only with instinct. Either way, our story, the story of art, music, fire, philosophy, and exploration, might never have existed. And yet, because the asteroid struck, here we are. We paint our own caves in the form of skyscrapers and digital screens. We carve our own monuments like the pyramids of Egypt or the hidden cities buried in jungles. We are living archaeology, destined one day to be uncovered, questioned, and remembered, if we are remembered at all. The extinction of the dinosaurs teaches us two lessons. First, dominance is never permanent. Second, survival carries responsibility. We inherited the Earth not because we were destined to, but because others were erased. What we do with that inheritance will decide whether we too become a footnote in the history of life or something more enduring. So I leave you with this question. If a future species uncovers the ruins of our civilization, what story will they tell about us? Will they say we perished like the dinosaurs, victims of chance, arrogance, or catastrophe? Or will they say we learned from the past, adapted, and reached beyond the boundaries of our planet to survive? The age of dinosaurs ended with fire. The age of humans is still being written. The choice of how it ends, or whether it endures, belongs to us. If this journey into the mysteries of prehistory has sparked your curiosity, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this documentary. Join us again as we continue to explore the forgotten corners of evolution, archaeology, and the ancient secrets that shape who we are today. Because the past is never truly gone. It is written in every fossil, every ruin, and every question we dared to ask. This is our story. This is your story. The story that almost never happened.